What's up guys, welcome to this week's video. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm especially excited to talk to you guys about something that I'm quite proud about that I've accomplished. But before we get to that, I need to take you back to last week and show you some pictures that I took on set. Now these pictures aren't official or anything like that. I was working on set for a commercial and I took my Canon with me to capture some behind the scenes photos. Now like I said, these weren't official or anything like that. They were just personal. So when I did develop them and scan them and they ended up having light leaks all over them, I wasn't too upset because sometimes I like the light leak kind of effect. You know, it's one of those imperfections that come with shooting film, but there were a surprising amount of them and I was super careful when developing them, and I'm pretty sure that the light leaks weren't from that. So of course I dived into YouTube and I started doing some research to find out what possible causes could be, and I ended up limiting it down to most likely being the light seals were going bad. But as I actually started inspecting the light seals, which is something I'd never done before, I noticed that they were almost non-existent, that they had really started to deteriorate. And I don't think it was a miscare or treating the equipment wrong. I think it was just time, which is something that all of these cameras are going to have. They're older cameras. This was my dad's camera that he used in high school and then passed it down to me, and I use it daily, so wear and tear is going to be happening. So I decided the best plan of action was going to be to just take off all the old light seals and replace them with new ones, because even if I wasn't getting any issues from the current ones, over time they were going to start popping up, so it was better to just take care of them all at once and get some new ones. So I ordered some light seal foam on Amazon. 2 days later it showed up, and I wanted to walk you guys through the steps that I took to fix these light seals. But before I get into that, I do want to just put a disclaimer out there that this is how I did it and it worked for me. This in no way is me telling you how to do it or even really showing you how to do it. I'm just showing you how I did it. There is always a chance that you could mess up and break something even more. So if in doubt, or if you don't feel capable, for sure, talk to a professional or take it into a camera store and they'll definitely be able to help you out. So hopping right in, the first step is going to be to remove the back cover. We've got 5 light seals that we're going to be replacing today, and we've got multiple tools that we're going to be using to do that. You're going to want a nice, clean, smooth surface for the new ones to stick to, and that's not going to be possible unless you take the time and patiently clean off all of that gunk. I found that a flathead screwdriver did well at removing the bulk of it, and then I also used a wooden dowel. I feel like that did a good job without scratching it, whereas the flathead did end up scratching the camera a few times. As well, I did use rubbing alcohol to help get all of this off and clean, and I always made sure to use cotton swabs as the final step to make sure all the old adhesive was removed. Now, after we've gotten both of the door hinge seals taken care of, we're gonna move on to the bottom door channel seal. Now this gap was too small to use cotton swabs and the wooden dowels, so I mainly used the flathead screwdriver, and then I took apart a few cotton swabs and pushed down the cotton into the groove with the flathead screwdriver to make sure to get everything out. And I won't bore you with showing you the top because it was the exact same as the bottom door channel. And the final seal is the mirror cushion, and this is the one that you need to be the most careful with. So now we've got the foam. I went ahead and measured and cut it to the size of each of the seals that we have previously removed. Like I said, there were 5. So the adhesive on this foam is extremely sticky, which is good, but it also makes it super hard to put it on and put it on in the right spot. If you accidentally mess up, it's pretty hard to get off again without ruining it. So each strip of foam I did cover in water, and eventually I figured out that it was just easier to have a cup of water that I dipped my fingers in, so my fingers were constantly wet, rather than squirting water onto each piece of foam. I just made sure that I had an extremely long piece for these and then cut it to size as I went, because these grooves do have curves in them. Another important thing to note on the top door channel is that you probably should do 2 separate pieces because of this little switch here that controls your frame counter, and that's what resets your frame counter when you open the door. So if you were to just do one piece and cover that up, your frame counter would never reset when you open the door. So I just did the same thing of getting some long pieces, pushing them in, and then cutting them to size. And now the final one, again, the mirror cushion. I did a practice run before removing the adhesive because I really didn't want to get the focus screen dirty. And it ended up not being too difficult, so all went well here. And just like that, voila, we are done. I did, before reassembling, let everything dry again overnight because I was getting everything wet. The adhesive didn't work as well until it dried. And then once dry, it worked just as well as if it had never been wet. So after I had finished installing all of the new light seals, I let it dry overnight just to make sure that it was on and firm. And then the next day I went out and I shot a whole roll of Kodak Vision 3 that I'm gonna be doing a video on in the future, so I don't really want to show too many of those photos off, but I am happy to say there were 0 light leaks in the whole roll. So, mission accomplished. I hope this video is helpful to someone out there, whether you have a light leak issue or not. I figured this would just be an interesting video to put out there. And as always, I want to thank you guys all for watching. I'm extremely grateful that you're following me on this film journey. If you missed my last video, it was a 30-second teaser clip that me and my friend Matthew made, notifying you that I'm selling keychains on my website now. So make sure to check that out. It's a quick watch. It was fun. Like I said, 30 seconds. And if you want to check those out on my website, the link is down below. And I think that's all I've got for you guys this week. So until next week, I'll see you later.